My name is Zoe Race, and at 21 years old, I proudly call myself a writer, though I'm still carving out my path in this creative world. I have an older brother, Axel Reyes, who is 30 and thrives as a team leader at a prestigious company, a role he earned after graduating from a renowned national university. Our lives haven't always been easy. When I was in ninth grade, our parents tragically passed away in a car accident, a devastating event that turned our world upside down. The shock plunged me into a deep depression, and I became a recluse, withdrawing from the world around me. As a result, I couldn't attend high school, my days consumed by grief and isolation. During this dark period, Axel became my lifeline. Having just graduated from college and started his career, he faced immense challenges, yet he never wavered in his support for me. Despite his demanding job, he took on the responsibility of caring for me, even handling household chores to keep our lives afloat. His strength inspired me to take small steps toward recovery. With the help of a compassionate doctor and Axel's unwavering encouragement, I began to rebuild my life. I started with simple tasks, tidying my room, cleaning the house, doing laundry, and eventually cooking. These small acts of responsibility helped me regain a sense of normalcy, and with Axel's support, I slowly rediscovered my place in the world. Now, Axel and I live together in the cozy house our parents left behind, a place filled with memories of love and loss. We share the housework, but since I primarily work from home as a writer, I've taken on the role of preparing meals and handling grocery shopping. Stepping out to the local market, with its vibrant stalls and friendly vendors, offers a refreshing change of pace from my writing desk. I've also grown to love cooking, finding joy in experimenting with new recipes and crafting menus that bring warmth to our home. Over time, I've become quite skilled in the kitchen, turning simple ingredients into comforting meals that Axel and I share over laughter and conversation. When I was still a hermit, lost in my grief, Axel gave me a life-changing gift, a laptop. "Take a look at the unknown road with this," he said, his voice gentle yet hopeful. That laptop opened up a world of possibilities. I spent hours exploring the internet, discovering breathtaking places through photos and videos on forums and video-sharing platforms. A spark ignited within me, a desire to visit those places in person. Axel, ever supportive, took me on trips when he could, and sometimes I ventured out alone, each journey pulling me further from the shadows of my past. Without his belief in me, I might still be trapped in that isolating darkness. Through my online explorations, I learned about remote work, which became a turning point. I began taking on small writing projects, gradually building my confidence and income. These opportunities allowed me to step out into the world more often, reconnecting with society and reclaiming a sense of normalcy. Axel, in many ways, became more than just a brother. He became a parental figure, both kind and firm, striking a perfect balance. His dedication to his studies had paved the way for his successful career, and now, 7 years after joining his company, he's risen to the role of team leader, a testament to his hard work and determination. Recently, I noticed a change in Axel. Once shy around women, he began to open up as his friends started families of their own. Through a friend's introduction, he met someone special, and after 2 years of dating, she proposed. The news of their engagement filled our home with excitement. One evening, Axel invited me to a Japanese-style restaurant, its warm ambience filled with the aroma of miso and grilled fish. There, he shyly introduced me to Nora Reyes, the woman who would become my sister-in-law. Nora, 2 years younger than Axel, had graduated from the same prestigious university and worked as an office administrator at a major food company. Her wavy, semi-long hair framed her face, giving her a mature, elegant appearance despite her youthful age. "Nice to meet you. I'm Zoe, Axel's sister," I said with a smile, my heart racing with anticipation. "Please take care of my brother." "Likewise, Zoe," Nora replied, her voice warm and her smile radiant. "You're such a cute sister. I've always wanted one. So I'm thrilled you'll be part of my family." Her slightly heavy makeup accentuated her features, but her genuine kindness shone through, putting me at ease. Over dinner, Nora asked about my background. Since Axel went to a great university, I assume you graduated from a good one too, right? She said, her tone curious. Axel stepped in, his voice steady but gentle. Well, actually, Zoe didn't go to college. When our parents passed away in an accident, she was in ninth grade. She struggled with her mental health, and it took time for her to recover. But she's thriving now, living a full, normal life. Nora's eyes widened in surprise. What? She was sick in ninth grade and couldn't attend high school either? I nodded, feeling a mix of vulnerability and gratitude as I added to Axel's explanation. Yes, that's right. I caused a lot of trouble for Axel because of my illness, but thanks to his support, I was able to heal. No amount of gratitude could ever repay what he's done for me. I see, Nora said thoughtfully. I understand now. Trying to lighten the mood, I chuckled and said, Nora, Axel may look a bit older because of everything he's been through, but he's got a heart of gold. Please look beyond appearances. I expected a laugh, but Nora's expression remained serious, her eyes distant. At the time, I thought she was simply moved by Axel's dedication to me, touched by the story of our bond. Nora came from an impressive family, one steeped in academic and professional success. Both of her parents had graduated from prestigious universities, and their relatives included doctors, lawyers, and other high-achieving professionals working at well-known companies. Nora's father was an executive at a major publishing company, while her mother served as the president of a local women's association, a role that carried significant influence in their community. Hearing about her family, I felt a surge of pride for Axel, knowing he was joining such a remarkable lineage. As Axel busied himself with work and wedding preparations, his happiness was infectious. I eagerly helped with tasks, from choosing decorations to organizing guest lists, thrilled to see my brother so full of hope. One day, my smartphone rang, displaying an unfamiliar number. My heart skipped a beat. Unknown callers always made me nervous, but I answered, my voice cautious. Hello, who is this? Zoe, this is Nora's mother, came the voice on the other end, calm yet formal. Nice to meet you. I froze, surprised by the unexpected call from Nora's mother, a woman I had yet to meet but whose presence already felt significant. The voice on the other end of the phone startled me. It was Nora's mother, who would soon become my mother-in-law. My heart pounded with unease as I gripped the phone tightly. What can I do for you? I asked, my voice trembling with anxiety. She didn't hesitate. I heard from Nora the other day that you didn't attend high school and only graduated from middle school, she said, her tone sharp and probing. I swallowed hard, unsure of her intentions, but determined to be honest. Yes, when my parents died in a car accident, I suffered from severe mental health challenges. It took me a long time to recover fully, which is why I couldn't attend high school. I sympathize with your situation, she replied, though her voice carried little warmth. But the fact remains that you only have a middle school education, correct? Yes, I confirmed, my throat tightening as I sensed the conversation taking an uncomfortable turn. I see, she said, pausing briefly before continuing. I have a favor to ask. Please do not attend Axel and Nora's wedding ceremony. In fact, it's best if you don't come at all. Her words hit me like a sudden gust of cold wind, leaving me stunned. What do you mean? I asked, my voice shaking with disbelief at her outrageous request. Nora and Axel both graduated from top-tier universities, she explained, her tone matter-of-fact. My husband and I are college graduates as well, and naturally, all our relatives hold college degrees. They're accomplished professionals, executives at major corporations, doctors, lawyers. You understand, don't you? I felt a knot forming in my stomach as her words sank in. Yes, but what does that have to do with me? I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. She sighed, a sound laced with condescension. You're not very bright, are you? No wonder you only finished middle school. As I mentioned, our family is composed of elites. Graduating from college is the bare minimum for us, and we hold prestigious positions. At an event like this, with such distinguished guests, we don't want someone like you, a middle school graduate, present. It would be embarrassing. Do you understand? We'd prefer you not attend. My heart sank, but anger surged within me. But I'm Axel's sister, his only family, I protested. How can I not attend my own brother's wedding? Please, just don't come, she insisted, her voice firm. How could we introduce you, a middle school graduate, to our relatives without feeling ashamed? I've made our wishes clear. Her words stung, sharp and cruel, cutting into the pride I'd worked so hard to rebuild. How rude, I muttered as I hung up, my hands trembling with a mix of fury and hurt. Nora's parents, obsessed with status and appearances, looked down on me because of my education, or lack thereof. But I had never viewed my life as something to be ashamed of. My struggles, my recovery, my journey, they were mine, and I refused to let anyone diminish them. Yet, a nagging doubt crept in. What if my presence at the wedding caused trouble for Axel? He'd sacrificed so much for me, and I wanted nothing more than for him to have a happy marriage and a bright future. If stepping back meant ensuring his joy, could I bear to stay away? At the same time, the thought of being dismissed so callously made my blood boil. My emotions swirled in a chaotic storm, leaving me unsure of what to do. I confided in Axel, pouring out the painful conversation with Nora's mother. His face darkened with resolve as he listened. Don't worry, Zoe, he said firmly. You're my sister, my only family. You're absolutely attending my wedding, and I'll protect you no matter what. But if I cause trouble for you, I began, my voice faltering with guilt. There's no way you'll cause trouble, he interrupted, his eyes fierce with determination. You're my one and only sister. If I can't stand up for you, what kind of brother would I be? Thank you, Axel, I whispered, tears welling in my eyes. His words wrapped around me like a warm embrace, giving me the courage to decide. I would attend the wedding, not just for myself, but to honor the bond we shared. On the day of the wedding, the venue was a vision of elegance, adorned with delicate flowers and soft lighting that cast a warm glow over the gathering. As I stood among the guests, representing our family during the introductions, I felt the weight of Nora's parents' disdainful stares. Their eyes, cold and judgmental, seemed to pierce through me, but I held my head high, drawing strength from Axel's support. At the reception, the seating for the bride and groom's families was arranged at the back, facing the main table where Axel and Nora would sit. I half expected there wouldn't be a seat for me, but to my relief, there was a small victory. As I settled into my chair, I felt the sharp sting of Nora's mother's gaze. She marched over, her heels clicking against the polished floor, her expression a mix of irritation and disbelief. You're here, she said, her voice low but dripping with venom. I told you not to come. You're a disgrace to our family. I straightened, meeting her gaze with newfound resolve. I'm Axel's real sister, I said firmly. There's no reason for me not to be here. She scoffed, her eyes narrowing. For a middle school graduate, you're awfully insolent. Just remember this. With that, she turned and walked away, leaving her harsh words lingering in the air like a bitter aftertaste. The mood shifted as Axel and Nora entered the room, a radiant couple glowing with joy. Axel, dashing in his tailored suit, carried an air of quiet confidence, while Nora sparkled in her elegant gown, her smile lighting up the room. Despite the earlier confrontation, I couldn't help but smile at the sight of my brother, so happy in this new chapter of his life. The reception began smoothly, with the MC guiding the event with warmth and humor. But then, Nora's mother stood abruptly, her movements sharp and purposeful. She approached the MC, whispered something, and seized the microphone. Her voice boomed through the room, commanding everyone's attention. Our family is one of distinction, she declared, her tone dripping with pride. We've all graduated from prestigious colleges and hold respectable positions, executives, doctors, lawyers. Axel is a suitable match for our family, a man of accomplishment and character. But there is one issue. She paused, her eyes scanning the room before landing on me. My heart sank as she continued, her voice laced with disdain. His sister, a middle school graduate, is an embarrassing presence in our family. We ask that Axel sever ties with her for the sake of our family's reputation." The room fell silent, the weight of her words hanging heavily in the air. My face burned with humiliation, but I refused to look away, holding on to the strength Axel had instilled in me. The audacity of her public declaration left me reeling, but it also ignited a fire within me, a determination to stand my ground, not just for myself, but for the bond once shared with my brother, who had never once made me feel less than enough. A hush fell over the elegant wedding venue, the air thick with tension as Nora's mother stood at the center of the reception, her voice cutting through the murmurs like a blade. "We cannot allow this marriage to proceed," she declared, her words echoing off the ornate walls adorned with cascading flowers. The room erupted in a low commotion, guests whispering and shifting uncomfortably in their seats. Ignoring the stir, she turned to Axel, her eyes gleaming with self-assured authority. "Axel, can you swear, right here, to cut ties with your embarrassing middle school graduate sister and join our distinguished family?" Nora and her father nodded in agreement, their expressions smug, as if the outcome were a foregone conclusion. With a triumphant smirk, Nora's mother handed the microphone to Axel, her posture radiating confidence. Axel took the microphone, his hands steady despite the weight of the moment. He drew a deep breath, his gaze sweeping the room before settling on me, a quiet strength in his eyes. "Indeed, my sister, Zoe, is a middle school graduate," he began, his voice calm but resolute. "But she is my only blood relative, my true family, especially since our parents passed away. I will never sever ties with her. I apologize to everyone here today, but I'm canceling this marriage. As far as I'm concerned, this relationship with your family is over." That is my answer. With a decisive motion, he slammed the microphone onto the table, the sound reverberating through the stunned silence. Striding toward me, his face broke into a refreshed, almost defiant smile. "Zoe, I'm sorry for putting you through this," he said softly, his voice a comforting anchor amidst the chaos. "There's no need for us to stay here. Let's go home." We left the venue, the weight of judgmental stares fading behind us as we stepped into the cool evening air. Later, I learned from relatives who attended that the reception unraveled after our departure. Nora, devastated, burst into tears, her dreams of a perfect wedding shattered. Her parents faced a barrage of criticism from their own relatives, forced to apologize profusely, some sat on their hands and knees for their shameful behavior. They were also compelled to return the gift money, a humiliating consequence of their actions. In the aftermath, an uncle from Nora's side reached out to Axel. He admitted that while Axel's dramatic exit wasn't ideal, he understood his stance and would have cut ties himself if the marriage had proceeded. He offered a substantial sum as consolation and proposed that Nora's family cover all wedding expenses. Axel, however, stood firm. "I don't want money," he told the uncle. "What I want is a sincere apology for how they treated Zoe." Weeks later, a meeting was arranged at our home to discuss a resolution. I steeled myself, determined to confront Nora's family and show them I was more than their dismissive assumptions. Nora, her parents, three figures cloaked in lingering arrogance, arrived at our modest but warm home, the house our parents had left us. They handed Axel an envelope containing money, calling it an inconvenience fee, and muttered an apology for their behavior at the reception. But their words felt hollow, laced with reluctance rather than remorse. Nora's mother, her lips pursed, spoke with barely concealed disdain. "We should have investigated more thoroughly," she said, her tone implying I was a problem to be uncovered. "If we had, this whole mess could have been avoided." Her husband, Nora's father, chimed in, his voice dripping with blame. "Axel should have told us about his sister's situation from the start. Then we wouldn't have ended up so unhappy." Anger surged within me, hot and unyielding. I had prepared for this moment, and I wasn't about to let their condescension go unchallenged. "Mr. Reyes," I said, addressing Nora's father with deliberate formality, though he was no longer my stepfather-to-be. "You work at Rainbow Publishing, correct?" He glanced at me, his eyes narrowing with superiority. Yes, I'm a director there. What about it? I held his gaze, my voice steady. I work with Rainbow Publishing as well. But I can't bring myself to stay with a company that employs someone like you. I want to terminate my contract. He scoffed, waving a dismissive hand. Go ahead. There are plenty of workers. It won't make a difference. Understood. I replied coolly. I'll quit immediately. And I'll be signing with your rival company instead. Do what you want, he said, his arrogance unshaken. In full view of everyone, I pulled out my phone and dialed my editor at Rainbow Publishing. I'm terminating my contract, effective immediately, I said, my voice clear and firm. The editor's voice crackled with panic on the other end, but I said what I needed and hung up. Then, I called the rival company, confirming my intent to sign with them. The room grew tense, but Nora's father remained smug, seemingly unfazed. Moments later, his phone rang. He answered with a casual, "Hello, it's me," but his expression shifted as the conversation continued.
What?
The president?
What's going on?
His voice dropped to a whisper and his face paled. When he hung up, he turned to me, his earlier arrogance replaced by a flicker of panic. Are you the popular author, Y-Ray? I nodded, unfazed. Yes, that's my pen name for my light novels. So what? His voice trembled. Our president just told me a top author is breaking their contract because of me. This could ruin us. I only asked if it was okay to terminate the contract, I said calmly. You said it didn't matter. And isn't it embarrassing for an elite like you to deal with a middle school dropout like me? I'm sorry, he stammered, his composure crumbling. Please, can you reconsider terminating the contract? Nora, confused, interjected. Why are you being so humble to a middle school dropout? Idiot, her father snapped, his voice rising. She's our publishing house's top author. If she leaves, the damage to our company will be catastrophic. The president is holding me responsible. I could be demoted. What? Really? Nora gasped, her eyes wide with shock. If that happens, it'll be too humiliating to face our relatives. Do something. Chaos erupted as Nora and her parents turned on each other, their polished facade crumbling. Please reconsider, Nora's father pleaded, his voice desperate. It's settled, I said firmly. Please leave. Axel, standing beside me, echoed my resolve. You heard her. Leave. With slumped shoulders and defeated expressions, the three left our home, their once proud demeanor shattered. After they were gone, Axel turned to me, his eyes wide with surprise. You're a popular author? I had no idea. I smiled sheepishly. I use a pen name. Last year, I posted a light novel online, and it got great reviews. Rainbow Publishing offered me a contract, and I've been earning quite a bit. Axel's face lit up with a bright, genuine smile, one I hadn't seen in years. I'm so proud of you, Zoe. The broken engagement faded into the past, leaving behind lessons and consequences. Nora, tainted by the scandal, struggled to find a new partner, the incident now infamous among her circles. She grew reclusive and eventually quit her job, retreating from the world much like I once had. Her father, blamed for my contract termination, was demoted to a regular employee. Unable to endure the grueling warehouse work, he resigned, his career in tatters. Nora's mother faced relentless criticism from her relatives for her disgraceful behavior at the wedding, her once proud status within her accomplished family stripped away. It felt like justice, though I took no joy in their downfall. My new publisher embraced my work, turning my popular novel into a comic that soared in popularity. Now, whispers of an anime adaptation are in the air, a dream I never dared imagine. Axel, treating the wedding as a dark chapter best forgotten, throws himself into his work with renewed focus. I eagerly await the day he meets someone truly worthy of his kind, steadfast heart. Our days have settled into a peaceful rhythm. I pour my energy into crafting light novels, wrestling with plots and characters, yet finding joy in the creative struggle. To me, this repetition of ordinary days is happiness itself. Axel and I are planning a trip together, a chance to make new memories while carrying the spirit of our late parents, whose love still lingers in the home they left us. As we move forward, I feel a quiet strength, knowing that together, we've weathered the storms and emerged stronger, our bond unbreakable. Please feel free to comment below if you liked this. Remember to like and subscribe for more.